Hi guys, and welcome to another batch of your replays. Now I'm kind of cheating on this one a little bit because any of you who watch my videos or watch my stream know that I have two regular platoon mates. I have Brynje and I have Ram. And recently, both players sent me replays, very good replays, and just told me to check them out. So I checked them out and they turned out to be very good games. They're both games played in light tanks. Brynje is here in his Type 64 here on Prokhorovka. It's a tier 7 game, so it's a nice matchup, but I thought these games were just too good not to bring to you on the channel. But Brynje wasn't really a light tank player. He bought himself a Type 64 in order to do light tank missions. And he's been doing very well in it. In fact, I would even go so far as saying he's a pretty good light tank driver, although he prefers to drive mediums. But you're going to see that in this particular replay. It's a very RT heavy game, 3 RT on either side. Brynje's just doing the normal scout job. He's working the middle, he's trying to spot tanks and enemy tanks in the middle, but he is very aware there are 3 enemy RT. So usual tanks have gone down the 1-2 lines, enemy scouts are being very aggressive, and Brynje is starting to open up. But what really amused me, or what really I took from this game, is just how patient Brynje is. Brynje's usually a very aggressive player, but he is very tactical in this particular replay. Not getting a lot of shots off to begin with. One of his players has already gone blue. But it's a very tactical game. You can see he's constantly on the move. Gets spotted, stays on the move, doesn't make it easy for enemy RT to hit him. Puts a shot into the M4. But he really does a very good scout job and manages to pick up a heck of a lot of damage. And on top of this, this is one of the games, one of the highest XP games I think anyone has ever sent me. So even though it is a regular platoon mate, I really thought you guys would like to see this. He's just working the middle, staying on the move, trying to stay RT safe, taking shots wherever they present themselves. And he's got shots on the ELC. Unfortunately, ally SU-100Y kills ally Chaffee. Really stupid shot to take. Shot through the ally to try and kill the enemy tank. But let's not dwell on that. It's let's see, SU-100, well, actually he's quite an experienced player. He should have known better than to take that shot. But in the meantime, yeah, Brynje is still working here. He switched to premium ammo to deal with enemy heavies. So there were quite a few tier 7 enemy heavies. Most of them seem to be on the 9-0 lines, and Brynje's just switched to premium. In the meantime, Chaffee in the distance. So the game starts off really slow, but as I say, it's a very tactical game. It's going to heat up towards the end. Enemy team are capping. They're at 42%. Someone's driven into the cap to prevent it. And there's a KV-85 moving in. So again, Brynje's just looking for shots, pushing forward. And he's found them. And you notice the bush mechanics here. He's shooting through bushes. The bushes are solid. So he's not being spotted. So he's got 3 shots in and misses out on the kill, but that takes him up to 1200 damage. Tiger in the distance. Goes for a blind shot, decides not to waste any more shots because he's aware, look at this, on the minimap he was aware of a leopard behind him. Didn't waste any more shots on the Tiger, immediately moves across, pre-aims at the leopard, takes him out. And now needs to be quite careful because again, enemy RT are in play. Trying to move erratically. So really, the score is 5-6. Brynje's on 1300 damage. The game could go either way. It's still finely balanced. And Brynje again just using bush mechanics, staying patient. So as you can see, he's got his light tank set up with binocs. That means he needs to sit still in order for the binocs to kick in. Unfortunately, his friendly IS has just died. Now there is a TD at the back an SU-100, but the SU-100 is not in a position to get spots on the hill. That means that there's only a Leopard on this side of the map spotting the hill. brynje's waiting for spots. He's trying to shoot the heavies on the hill. And again, look at the awareness. As soon as the VK appears behind, swings around. Doesn't have much to shoot at. Cupola shots on the VK. And while the accuracy on the Type 64, I've covered it on the channel quite a lot recently. While the accuracy is not known to be great, brynje does put in a couple of beautiful cupola shots at distance. But unfortunately, they've just lost the T150. So they've lost all the friendly tanks on the 1-2 lines. They don't have anyone spotting on the 9-0 lines. And this is really looking like a loss. The score is 6-9. They're losing. All the tanks are in the middle. They've got no eyesight to either side. And this is where it's incredibly tactical. What brynje does is he moves into cap, stops the enemy team from capping. He spots the Tiger. Now again, the bush is solid, but not quite solid enough. He doesn't risk shooting, and look at this, he's requesting fire on the Tiger. He's spotted the Tiger, he's spotted a Tog. There's a Tog in B6, and he's holding his fire. He's preventing the enemy team from capping, but he's spotting enemy tanks for his 3 RT. He's 100% aware he's still got 3 RT in play. So he is pure scouting here. And it takes a heck of a lot of discipline to play like this, even when you know you've got shots. Look, solid bushes, he's got shots, but while he may be invisible and may be okay to shoot the Tog, some other tank might be able to spot him from the side. But he's trying to keep these tanks lit up. Tog is spotted, Tiger is spotted, and he's just waiting for his RT to actually do some damage. Now, unfortunately, RT aren't really focused on the targets brynje is spotting because there's a VK that's just moved in. They were focused on the VK. They took out the VK that was moving along the K line. Maybe now they can start focusing on the tanks that brynje is spotting. He's kept this Tiger 1, he's kept this Tog 2 lit up for a long time, but for some reason RT has not been able to do much damage to them. There's a Stura Immel sitting on J7. SU-100's moved up on top of the hill, but SU-100 is pushing forward. And there are still 3 enemy RTs, so any of the tanks that get spotted, there's a very good chance they're going to die. So GW Panther takes out the M5 Stuart somewhere. I missed where that was happening. I think that might have been a blind shot. But they've just lost the SU-100. So they're still losing. The score is 8-10. And again, in all the time brynje has been here, he hasn't fired. Very, very good light tank discipline. This is always the hardest part for me. So brynje's on 1600 damage. He's keeping the Tog lit up. And the GW Panther is on 3 kills. Nope, he's on... Was that him? Oh, that was the other GW Panther. But unfortunately, they've just lost a Stura Immel. They've lost a GW Panther. Not sure whether they were spotted or whether it was a blind fire by enemy RT. But it's 9-12. They're still losing. 2 enemy heavy tanks, and once again, brynje could fire, but he's holding his shots. IS is getting very, very close. And there's a Tiger on the hill, so brynje waits as long as he can, takes out the IS. In the meantime, the Tiger takes out the S51. So now it is 2 versus 5. So just brynje and an RT player versus a Stura, a Tiger, and 3 RT. And while brynje was on the move, he spots the Stura. His sixth sense hasn't gone off. This is where the camo rating is very, very good. The view range is very, very good on a Type 64. And brynje's just able to go to work here. Just putting shots in. And the GW Panther finishes off the Stura. So 4-3. Panther's on 4 kills. brynje's on 3 kills. So there's still a Tiger and 3 RT. And once again, brynje is on the move. He's going to try and spot the Tiger, and he does. He manages to spot the Tiger. He had a sneaking feeling that the Tiger had come down off the hill, He spotted the Tiger, takes a hit. Look at this, dupes the Tiger, gets around, but he's got to be careful. 3 enemy RT in play. So if he was able to work alone here, he'd be able to take out this Tiger. There's one RT shot. GW takes about another RT shot. Where's the third one? There's the third one. So all 3 enemy RT have now fired. So from a very, very difficult position, basically the team have been losing. In fact, technically they're still losing. But very, very good fire discipline. brynje just spotting for his RT. GW Panthers picked up 5 kills as a result of brynje spotting. brynje's on 3,000 damage. Yeah, it's very, very easy to rack up damage in a Type 64. I've been losing count, didn't realize he was on 3,000 damage, but he's on 3,000 damage, not to mention all the assistance damage he's been doing. So he's going hunting for 3 RT. Now he's only got 8 shots of AP left, and the cap starts, and it looks like there are just one tank in cap at the moment. But brynje's moving back. He's going to try and spot cap for friendly RT. No, 2 RT in cap. So very, very briefly the cap went to 2 capturers. So brynje knows there are 2 RT over here. He spots the M12. So again, he's not engaging, he's just keeping him lit up, keeping him spotted. And there, that hero in the GW Panther takes him out. So GW Panther's picked up his top gun. There's still 1 tank capping. So brynje knows there's another RT down here. And again, not charging in, he moves into the cap, so the RT knows he's here. Now, technically I may have tried to avoid the cap circle and gone around the outside of the circle to try and find RT, because by driving into the circle, brynje gave away his position. But enemy RT still seems to be sitting in the circle, and brynje's just trying to spot him for the GW Panther. There's no hurry. He wants to give the GW Panther plenty of time to reload. And it looks like enemy RT's on the move, so 1 shot bounces, a little bit unfortunate. brynje tracks the Lorraine, but he needs to stay on the move because there's still a GW Panther on the enemy team that hasn't been spotted yet. And there he goes, so the GW Panther misses. And brynje's able to get some more damage done, reduce him to 23, take him out for kill number 4. He's up to 3.3k damage and just 1 tank left on the enemy team, the GW Panther. So, because the enemy RT missed brynje didn't get a shot indicator. He has no idea where enemy RT could be. So he's moving across just in case GW Panther is sitting in A0, no sign. His 6th sense hasn't gone off. Now, there's a debate. Do you cap or do you go for the last remaining RT? There's only 1 minute 40 seconds left. It's going to take 3 minutes to cap with brynje's on his own. And in fact, even if the GW Panther was in a position to get in and cap, they still wouldn't have time to cap. This is encounter. So brynje decides there's no point. GW Panther's saying, I'm coming to cap too, but brynje says, nope, there's no time. Even if both tanks had started capping at that exact moment, there wouldn't have been time to win. So, enemy team, thankfully, or, well, maybe a little bit of a scumbag, but they gave away the position of the last remaining GW Panther. They said he was an A6, so brynje moves up, spots him. He is indeed an A6, but no point in risking his tank. brynje just keeps him spotted and lets enemy RT get kill number 7. Really, really good teamwork between the GW Panther and the Type 64. So what a huge game in a Type 64. I said it during the review. I think the Type 64 is a very, very competitive premium tank. I think it's a very, very good light tank, even though it is a premium. And as I say, brynje, not really a light tank player, but he bought the tank in order to do personal missions. He usually drives mediums, but 3rd mark of excellence in the tank. So obviously, brynje has been playing this tank a lot, and he's been playing it very, very well. But brynje also picked up an ace tanker for that game, not surprisingly. He picked up a Confederate, a high caliber, and a patrol duty. But this is absolutely amazing. He picked up 1947 base XP, almost 2 3,000 base XP. That's before bonuses or anything else is thrown in. What a huge game. He managed to do 3,572 damage in a Type 64. A huge amount of damage anyway, but we know that the assistance damage is going to be pretty high as well. 4 kills. I do want to give a special shout out to the GW Panther, the Eunice. He had a very good game. 7 kills, 2,500 damage, and picked up almost 1,000 XP for that game as well. Really well played towards the end of that game for those two players. Brynje fired 45, he hit 36, Pen 33. The gun, it's probably one of the weakest features of the Type 64, but it can still do a job. Huge amount of damage done. He spotted 8, damaged 10, destroyed 4, and on top of 3,500 damage, he managed to do 2,655 assistance damage. He also managed to do 33 base defense points. He earned 66,500 credits with a premium account. Now, he did have to shoot through most of his ammo in that particular game, but still made a decent amount of money. 2,920 XP on a ×3 event with a bonus thrown in left him on 9,636 XP just for that one game. So I really liked that game. I thought Brynje showed off light tank game mechanics to their absolute best. He spotted when he needed to spot, he damaged when he needed to damage, he tried to circle a couple of heavy tanks to death. He worked really well with an arty player, as light tanks should. He was incredibly patient, showed good knowledge of bush mechanics, mixed passive scouting with active scouting. It was a really good scout game with a really good result, and I thought that game was just too good not to show you guys on the channel. I want to thank Brynje for sending that replay in to me. I thought it was fantastic. Thank you very much. Moving on, we've got another game in a light tank. This time it was sent in by my other platoon mate, or my other regular platoon mate, Ram. He's in the T71, so rather than being the Tier 6 Chinese premium light tank, we're in the regular Tier 7 light tank, the one that isn't the Bulldog, and I love the T71. I really do like this tank. In fact, I don't know, I'd say I'm one of the few players, or one of the rare players, who actually prefers the T71 over the Bulldog. The Bulldog is a great tank, but I don't know, there's just something about the T71 I love. But what's really unusual, or really good about this particular replay, and the reason I wanted to show it to you guys, is the amount of damage that Ram is able to do in this game. It's a Tier 8 game. Ram is platooned with Neil on Travels and some scrub in a T34-3. But you can see that Ram is using or taking advantage of the new shortcut up to the hill here on Karelia. Lots of tanks moving down the 9-0 lines. But the Bulldog has an autoloader as well, but the Bulldog has, I believe, 10 shots in its magazine, whereas the T71 has 6. Similar penetration, similar alpha damage on both light tanks, 175mm of penetration, 150 alpha damage. It means the burst potential of the T71, although always good, isn't as good as the Bulldog is these days. However, the reload is quicker. And the T71, it's all about its burst damage, as Ram is about to prove here. You see, he stayed hidden, waited till the IS-6 committed himself, and he tracks the IS-6 in place, and you can see him just putting shots into the rear track. And there's 808 damage. Now, he missed one shot. He could have done about 950 damage had he not missed his first shot. But 808 damage from one clip, and he's almost reloaded. IS-6 is going nowhere. VK comes up, and he tries to track, but fails. Fails to pen. Someone else takes out the VK. He's got 4 shots left. Looking for more victims. T34. Snap that one a little bit, hit the turret, and he falls back. T34 is just fired, but Ram only has 2 shots left. He can take his time. Bounces his first one, and gets one more in, and needs to reload. So, second clip, not so good. First clip, he penned 6 or 7 of his 8 shots. This one, he only penned 1 of his 8 shots. But he's on 968 damage. T34 is looking this way. He waits till he reloads, waits for the T34 to look the other direction, good use of third person here, making sure the T-34 wasn't aiming. And this time he's aiming more carefully at the engine deck. Just pumping shots into this American heavy. Risks one more. Nope, he's sitting here. Okay, I'm not quite sure whether or not he knew the T-34 was aiming, but there's another 1,000 damage done. Well, that would have been about 900 damage with that particular magazine. And once again, he's using third person, he's almost reloaded. He knows the T-34 has just fired, so he can take his time, aim carefully at that upper front plate, finishes off the T-34 for kill number 1. But he's already on 2,000 damage. So that, I suppose, was all about the burst potential of the T71, and good use of third person. Keeping an eye on the T-34, making sure the T-34 wasn't looking his way. Now, on the enemy team, there's a platoon of Borsigs, and as of this point, none of the enemy Borsigs have been spotted. And we all know how good the camo rating is on a Borsig. Of course, me being a scrub, the T-34-3 has some pretty good view range, but instead of actually moving or maybe letting Ram do the spotting in his light tank, I decide to advance. And it's going to cost me, so I've just been spotted. Meanwhile, Ram is waiting to take shots at this AT-7. And again, none of that Borsig platoon have been spotted, and there we go. I've just died to 2 shots from a Borsig. So there are 2 of them. I've indicated to Ram that it seemed to me as if the shots were coming from C7, B7, that area. Ram was taking his time. Oh, beautiful shot into the rear of the AT-7. Can he get another couple in? Needs to aim a little bit more. Misses that one, and he's on a reload, but a little bit more damage. And as I say, none of that Borsig platoon have been spotted yet. Oh, there we go. First one's just been spotted in the north. So Ram knows I was shot from a Borsig around B7. He's advancing, trying to get spots. He's done his damage. He's finally going to put the speed and maneuverability of this tank into action. He's on 2.4k damage, looking for those Borsigs. And he's not spawning any. Very, very surprising. So, he's just scouted the area I got shot from and hasn't spotted any Borsigs, so he's going to turn his attention to the tanks to his left. Two of the Borsig platoon are still unspotted, but Ram has moved up. He's got shots, he's holding his shots. Not sure if Ram was doing a mission here, or whether or not he was trying to get assistance damage, but he's holding his shots. I don't know, quite remember why. Maybe he didn't want to get spotted from Borsigs that might have been behind him. But Nealon is pushing up towards enemy spawn. Ram is moving to flank the tanks below him. So he's got the side of a T-32, but not much to shoot at. Here he's got a Borsig. So one shot in, second shot in, third shot in, and someone else takes out the Borsig. But now he's got the side of a T-32. And unfortunately donks that last shot, but did damage on almost every single shot on that magazine as well. 3,170 damage done. So he's got the rear, misses that one. Think he might be shooting past Rex. He's failing to pen the T-32. That's better. A little bit more damage, goes for a reload again. This time he's reloading premium ammo because he's only got 5 shots of regular APCR left. This tank fires APCR as standard. And finally, a Borsig has been spotted. Where has that Borsig come from? Oh, the camera rating on Borsigs are just so good. So Neilon went through that area, Ram went through that area. No one was able to spot that Borsig. But Ram's got his rear, misses one shot. Just continuing to rain shots in, only one shot left, not enough to kill him. But that takes Ram up to an incredible 4k damage in the T71. Borsig gets away, still one Borsig that has not been spotted. So it is 3 versus 2, or it's 4 versus 2. Forgot about Artie sitting in the corner. And finally the last remaining Borsig has been spotted. So Ram moves up, ambushes the first one, finishes him off. Just one Borsig left on the enemy team. And Ram decides to go for a reload again. So he's on 4.1k damage. Is he going to get any more damage out of this game? It always gets tense when you're trying to hunt down a Borsig. But thankfully the Borsig has come to him. So again, Ram trying to use third person to see where the Borsig is looking or what direction he's coming from. There you go. He's got the rear of the Borsig. Borsig is not looking, and it doesn't look as if the Borsig is using the final gun. So 2 shots in, a little bit of more damage at the end of the game, but really, really high damage game for a light tank. So not surprisingly, Ram picked up an ace tanker for that game. He also picked up a high caliber. He finished top on XP with a huge 1568 and did an amazing 4,460 damage in a light tank. He probably almost got double what the next highest damage dealer on the team did. Just the 2 kills though, but just shows you what the T71 is capable of doing. He fired 46, hit 40, pen 30. As I say, huge amount of damage. Spotted 2, damaged 7, destroyed 2. Did 732 assistance damage. So not so much scouting in that game, but more damage dealing. And he ran out of, he almost ran out of APCR towards the end. Ended up having to fire some premium ammo, and it cost him. He ended up making a loss of 16,000 credits of the premium account. So a couple of light tank replays sent in by Ram and Brynje, our regular platoon mates. I just thought those 2 games were very, very good. Thought they were a lot of fun and enjoyable to play, and I hope you guys at home enjoyed them too. Too good to keep to myself. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.